Hello and welcome back for another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Snob. Today we are going to be trying the Ardmore 25 year. Now there's something sexy about a bottle of whiskey that comes in a box. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's because I'm just old school. I like to sort of like unclip things and open things. But this, I don't know what it is. It's just, I love the smell of wood. I love the whole sort of pulling out bits and removing the bottle, and I love it. And even when the whiskey's gone, you keep the box, you can put stuff into it, and obviously it's cluttered. The missus goes completely nuts that I've got all these empty boxes lying around, but I'm a big kid at heart, what can I say? Now just try and close that and play around with it. You can see that I've made some good headway into that. I do like this Ardmore 25. Unfortunately, it's been discontinued. Now, Ardmore are still operating. They have the 10-year-old, which does really, really well. I know they've changed the packaging recently, and I do prefer the older version for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I'll go into that in another video. But the 25-year has been discontinued. But why? You might have heard of a blended whiskey brand called Teachers. This 25-year-old actually goes into that blend, and because they sell more blended whiskey than they do the single malt, for them they had to take a decision to add it to their blend. Now I don't know if this statistic is going to be of any surprise to you, or if it's shocking to you, but I'm not sure if you guys are aware that 90% of all whiskey produced in Scotland goes into blended malts. 90%. A few percent go here and there for other stuff, but only 7% of whiskies produced in Scotland, Scotch, are bottled as single malt Scotch whiskey. That is absolutely crazy. Don't get me wrong, there are certain blends out there that are fantastic, phenomenal whiskies. I agree. Yes, Monkey Shoulder, certain other blended malts, even blended malt grains, it's fine. However, 7% go into single malts. That's absolutely nuts. Anyway, what do I know? Obviously, there's a huge market for it. There's a huge market for blended whiskies. People are prepared to pay. People aren't prepared to pay some of the preposterous prices for single malts. But it's us that suffer. But 7% is such a small number if you think about it. Ardmore is a Speyside distillery. Generally, whiskies from Speyside, they're light, they're floral, they're fruity. They're known for being sort of an everyday drinkable whiskey. Now, there are more distilleries in Speyside than the rest of Scotland. Yes, I believe so. You could walk and fall over, and you can walk out from one distillery, fall over, and walk into another one. You sort of get the point. But there's so many distilleries in Speyside. It is the largest, it is the biggest distilling region in Scotland by far. Beautiful. That's my point. I'm not with it today, excuse me. Okay, so Ardmore, Speyside, fruit, fresh, citrus, and so on. Wonderful. Light whiskies, great. Ardmore, peated Speyside whiskey. But it's completely different. It's not the kind of peat that you expect, that you would get from an Islay whiskey. It's not that heavy TCP, iodine, medicinal peat. It's peaty, but it's smoky. There's cigar, there's tobacco, there's a little bit of charcoal. There is a very slight hint of medicinal peat, but it's very, very slight. It's not as big as you would expect. If you were to say this is a peated whiskey and you think to yourself, okay, it's going to be peat, like iodine peat from Islay. No. There is a touch of medicinal peat to it, but predominantly, it's almost as if Some of the peat comes from Orkney, which is where Highland Park is from and Scapa is from. Highland Park being the most northerly distillery in the world. And again, their peat is extremely tobacco-like, not medicinal. The nose on this whiskey is brilliant. There's almonds, there's nuts. It's light, it's fresh. You still get that citrus, you still get that sweetness of the vanilla, you still get the strong vanilla notes. You get all the beautiful characteristics of a Speyside whiskey, but it's smoky, it's peaty, it's fantastic. I really, really enjoy sticking my nose into this one, as you can see, So it's a 51.4% whiskey. It's 25 years old. It's a great whiskey. Unfortunately, like I said, it's been discontinued, which upsets me. But I managed to get a couple of bottles, and I'll enjoy it for, I'll enjoy them for the next couple of years, and after that, we'll move on. There'll be other great whiskies and so on. I will shed a tear when I've had the last drop of this whiskey, but what can we do? Right. On the palate straight away, a certain sweetness comes through with that smoke. It is a bit spicy. It's quite warm. It's but it's fresh. It's herbal. There's oranges. There's orange peel, and again, it's actually quite oily. You still get that oiliness from the flavors of the notes of the almond that you get on the nose. I get those on the palate as well. Raw almonds, raw, unripe almonds. I remember, eating those off of the tree in my grandmother's backyard in Cyprus. Really oily, really sort of tart and sour. The sweetness there is quite strange, actually. It's not a fruit sweetness. It's almost like caramelized sugar, almost like the top of a creme brulee. There's vanilla, there's burnt sugars, but again, there's that nice floral balance. You can really taste meadow flowers. I know you think I'm crazy, but I can definitely taste them. There are definitely meadow flowers in this. I can taste daisies and dandelions and all that jazz. And again, that sweetness on the nose is still there. Right, the finish isn't actually that long. It is quite warm. It's medium. There's a little peppery spice. It continues to be sweet. Those flowers, actually, that floral, this comes big on the finish. And there's a touch of espresso. I've added some water to this, just a few drops, because I don't want to take too much away from it, and especially there's not that much liquid in the glass now. The nose has become a little bit more bright, more notes of vanilla now on the nose. That peatiness is still there, the smoke is still there, but rich sugars. I can smell agave, lemon peels again. It's a bit drier on the palate now. The spiciness is still there. It's warm. It's not overly spicy. It's not like peppercorn spice. It's a bit warm. It's almost like when you eat some spicy food, but it's not spicy. It sort of lingers on. It sort of comes back and it just hangs around. You don't feel the tingling of the peppercorn or the spiciness of the peppercorn on your palate. But it's extremely well balanced. It's extremely well made. The floral, the sweet, there's actually, I can taste a little bit of heather honey on this. It's really, really evident, and a bit, maybe just a touch of honeycomb as well. Yes, honeycomb. And vanilla pods. Really great whiskey. Again, I know I say this at the end of every video, and I've not reviewed a whiskey that I dislike as of yet. Don't worry, there is some coming up. I do have some in a collection which I bought, which I won't drink again, I promise. Well, not I will drink it for you guys for the videos, but there's whiskies that I bought that are in a collection that I'm not a huge fan of, and I just bought them because they were new and I wanted to see what they tasted like. But this, I know I say this all the time, but this, go out, find it, buy it. It's good to have in your collection. It's relatively inexpensive. I think you can probably pick them up for $250, which is about you can probably get them for about 150 quid in the UK. If you do get them, buy as many as you can, because they have been discontinued. Not too many people are aware of that, which means that once they do, these are great as an investment if you're looking to invest in whiskey. But like I said again, open it up, have a drink, enjoy it. That's what it's there for. Again, thank you again for watching. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time. Please subscribe to the videos, leave comments if you have any, or any suggestions. Like the videos as well. Make sure you watch the other ones, and if you have anything to say, please let me know. I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. For me, the Whiskey Snob, cheers.